Alright, in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to drill and tap a 064 crankcase where the cylinder head bolts on to the crankcase to go from an M5, I think M5 by 20 or something, to an M5 or M6 by 25. So this is the 066 stock spline screw, and then this is the 064 stock spline screw. This is M5, this is M6. That's what you're going to need to, support the new 066 big bore head that I'm going to be putting onto it. The reason I did this is because the 064 OEM piston, see that? Garbage. Thing had I did a pressure and vacuum test, and I found out that the leak was actually coming from the head itself. There was a bit of a travel area for it to get through. I think right where the crankcase came together here, it followed that. So I'm gonna put a new gasket on, and I'm gonna use this stuff here, Honda Bond. Don't use pretty much anything other than Honda Bond, 3 Bond, or Yama Bond. I guess it's all the same stuff. Handles fuel and corrosion very well, so that's why I use it. Alright, just using a cordless drill, nothing fancy. Yeah, this is a 3/16 high-speed steel drill bit. So they say to use a 5mm, and I am in Canada currently with limited tools. I don't have a 5mm drill bit, and they're impossible to find. I've called all around within about 80 kilometers, can't find any near Niagara Falls. So going with the 3/16, you're drilling in magnesium. It's really soft metal, so it's not a huge issue. So I'd already drilled out this one and tapped it, and then I drilled this one, and I'm currently tapping it now. This left side is deeper. You might need a blind tap to get to the bottom to make sure it gets threaded all the way to the bottom. Threads go almost to the bottom. There, yeah. On a little WD-40 and go to town. The biggest thing is really start very easy. You're gonna want to go in smooth and crank it out. You don't want any binding, especially because you're using a smaller diameter drill, so you have a chance to crack off one of these taps inside the hole, which is not good. I've already measured the depth, and then I've marked it on this tap, so I know exactly when I get to the bottom. Just to, again, keep from binding up on the tap. And there we have it. I think I'm right at the bottom. So don't do it. And then once you get towards the bottom, you're going to feel it kind of give way. That's when you're getting just past the thread. So that's why this isn't entirely a blind hole, because the threads actually do have a small gap at the very bottom. So yeah, you'll feel it give way, and that's kind of when you know that you're getting to the bottom. So just go easy. And I take this out. Be very careful when you're taking the tap out of the hole. You don't want to screw up your beginning threads, and more importantly, you don't want to scratch that magnesium top there. If you do that, you won't be happy. Alright, there's that. I'm going to go to another hole, and I'll show you the whole process. So again, I'm using a 3/16 bit. You're supposed to use a 5mm bit for the M6 by 1 tap. Don't have it available, so do what you got. Your bit's gonna follow the thread pattern, or the angle and stuff, but you just want to be careful. It's gonna want to pull your bit in straight away, so you got to be careful. Go nice and slow. Back it out. Don't just go straight to the bottom. Tear out the threads. Try and get them out a couple at a time. I'll just get a little WD-40. Don't need much. See, now it's pretty locked in there. You run the risk of breaking the bit, so back it out. Try not to scratch the top of the crankcase either. A little WD-40 on the tap. See there? And again, because this is at an awkward angle, you're gonna want to use one of these taps versus the versus one of these, because clearly you're not gonna be able to maneuver this thing against this back end. It goes pretty smoothly. You just want to make sure you're aligned at your initial start. It'll center itself, but you're gonna probably end up taking out more material than you want if you have to do that. So try and get it going in the right direction from the beginning. This looks pretty good. There you go. And it's nice and smooth going at first. It's really easy. I mean, this whole process, I spent hours researching how to do this precisely, you know. Part numbers, yada yada yada. Whether or not the torque specs can even, of a 066 big bore on this 064 crank are even possible, but they are, because this is an 066 crank. It's the same one. Okay, so I went in a bit. Now I'm going to back it out. Take all the metal fragments out of it and clean it off. It sucks with this, but you know, whatever. You're doing it once for a big motor. Who cares? There we go. Clean all that crap off. You can use a toothbrush. I'm using just a brush. Anyways, then put a little more WD-40 on it. You can even wash the metal fragments off with the WD-40. That might help. And again, you know, a lot of people I'm sure are gonna say, well, you're just freaking drilling and tapping a hole. Well, no doy, but I don't know, some people like to see videos of the specific project, and I haven't found one for this, so I figured I'd make one. Why not? Nice and tight fitting. And there you have it. Easy. Now you have the M6 by 25 what are they, spline screws for the Stihl 064 to 066 big bore conversion. I got one more to go, and then I'm done. Next one will be that guy right there. Can't really get a good angle on that. Maybe I'll move it around. Alright, then we drill. So what happened there was not ideal. I went a little too fast, and what you can end up doing is, instead of drilling out the threads, you can, because it's magnesium, you can push the threads, as in like just squish the shit out of them, which, I mean, you don't really want to do. It's better to drill it out. See, right there? So I gotta break that where it wants to just pull in. There we go. So now I'm removing material. It's not just getting stuck in the threads and getting pulled in. You want to really remove as much as you can. So this hole here is a through hole, goes all the way through and connects into the flywheel side. You can actually see the flywheel if you look in this way. You can see the flywheel moving. This is blind. This is blind, but they're not true blinds. There is a gap from the bottom of the thread to the bottom of the wherever it bottoms out into the crankcase. It doesn't actually go into the crankcase, so don't worry about getting metal fragments in there. But yeah, you should still use a blind bit or a blind tap, because you'll want to be able to get the threads all the way to the bottom. It's only a couple millimeter gap at the bottom from the first thread, so if you're using a standard tap, you're probably not going to get it threaded as far as you need to. But anyways, I'll continue with tapping this last bolt here. There we go. Finally through. Whew. That was a tight one. That's why I got so quiet. I was like, this is taking longer than the others. But I took my time. I backed it out a whole bunch. I would imagine it goes a little smoother if you're using a 5mm drill bit first, but it can be done with a 3/16. That's what I did. Worked just fine. I think the 3/16 is 0.18, maybe 0.189 or 0.185 inches, and a 5mm is like 0.196, I think. So you're definitely a little bit off, but you're in the thousandths of the inch off, so you'll be okay. If you take it slow, it is magnesium, it's real soft, so if this were like a stainless steel or carbon, I would not even try it. I've got all 4 of these drilled and tapped to fit the M6 6mm by 25mm screws, spline screws. And these I just got from a Stihl dealer down the road, or steel dealer down the road. They're like $2 each or $3 each, so cheap. Now I'm ready to put a big old board 066 top end on this guy. And I sure am excited.